So here goes part 2 of day 9 of Advent of Code. We just solved part 1. We used SQL for that. I don't think we're going to use SQL for the second part though. I don't think I have time for that. It's going to be a little bit tricky to figure out. So I think we'll jump back to Ruby. Now that we've found this invalid number in this sequence of input that we were given, we need to find a contiguous set of at least 2 numbers that sum up to that invalid number. So in the sample input, our invalid number is 127, and this 15, 25, 47, 40, those are 4 contiguous numbers that add up to 127. So once we find that contiguous set, then we want to find the smallest and largest value in that set. So 15 and 47 are the largest. And we'll add them together, producing some number. And that there is our encryption weakness and the answer to part 2 of the problem. So let's start by seeing if we can find, if we can put together an implementation that produces 62. And if we can do that, then we'll jump to our puzzle input. So like I was saying, we'll do this in Ruby. We've got our input, which we will throw in a here doc. And we will parse that input out into an array of numbers. So numbers gets input dot split on new lines, and then we will turn those from strings into integers. And from there, what I'm thinking is that we'll want to, and the other thing is we need to know what our invalid number is. And so in this case, with this input, it's 127. So I'm thinking we'll start at 35, and then we'll just start adding each subsequent number to it until the total of those numbers either matches or exceeds the invalid number. If it exceeds it, then 35 can't be part of a contiguous set, so we'll jump to 20 and go 1, 2, until, again, we either match 127 or exceed it. And we'll just continue like that until we find a contiguous set, and then we'll figure out the rest of the problem from there. So a pattern I've been using in a bunch of these that I think we're going to use here as well is this throw catch pattern that Ruby has. It allows us to have some sort of iteration that we're doing, and then at a certain point, if we meet some condition, we can break out of that iteration. Oops. So I'm going to do a catch, and instead of the form I've been doing where I let it generate an object for the block, I'm instead going to give it a tag where I say answer found. And so then this tag here is the thing that I can throw to jump out to this catch. And so we'll start by iterating over numbers. So each with index. And so that'll give us our number and then some index x. And so now this is the point where we're like, okay, we've got 35. Let's start adding everything else to 35. So we've got like a running total, which starts with 35. And then we just want to sort of iterate over the numbers coming after that. So to do that, I think it might be nice to have like a range where we say x plus 1, so we're like moving to an index beyond the current index, and we'll go from there until we get to numbers.size -1. So that's our range. And we'll do that, and this is our y index then. And so yeah, let's see. We will then say running total gets number, or we add numbers y to that. So we're just gonna, as we loop through these, we're just gonna keep adding more and more values to the running total. And yeah, I guess at a certain point we might want to break out of this early. So that's maybe where another catch will come in. Yeah, what could our tag be here? Like next number. And the nice thing about these tags is just a chance to make it really clear what's going on in our program. So we'll throw next number, and I'm not going to add a return value, if running total exceeds our invalid number. And then the other condition is we would throw answer found, so something there, if running total equals invalid number. So these are sort of two break conditions. One will break us out here, and then if I actually make this a symbol, then this one will break us out to 28. Yeah, so we're still going to have to do something. If answer found, find the min and max values. That's still part of the problem we have to figure out. So keep that in mind. But let's make sure we've got our other bases covered first. So we're iterating over each of those. We create a new running total each time. We're always required to have at least two numbers. So I don't think we need to worry about doing any checks before this. We can just go right into our catch here. I guess if we get to the very end, and we haven't broken out the catch, then that feels like error to me. No answer found. We'd like to know about that. So yeah, let's see, min, max. Let's grab this and paste that in there, because I think what we're going to need to do here is, yeah, we want to find everything in numbers. Yeah, we want to find the range of numbers that that starts from x and goes to y. So I guess we can use slice for that, and we'll slice out x to, yeah, y will, do we want an inclusive or exclusive here? I don't know, well, let's say y for the moment, and we'll have to check that, I think. So that's our range, and so we'll say range.min, range.max, that's what we'll return. And this will be our result. Let's indent that. And now we say like low, high gets result. Just peel those out and we'll put out the sum of these two. And yeah, I think that's a solution to work with. I just need to still figure out this range part. So let's give that a run, see if we can even hit our prior. Maybe we'll have a syntax error before that. Oh, we did hit it. Okay. So what's x? 2, y is 5. And so then, yeah, numbers, dot slice, x, y. I mean, 15 and 62 No, 62 is the answer. So that, no, it's 1547. So I think, what's our current number? Okay. I see. So slice is including this value, and we don't want that. So we actually want y minus 1. And then we can grab the min and the max, and I think that'll give us an answer. If we give that another run, 62, 62. Cool. So I feel good. I think we've got an implementation that's going to work. Let's try out the puzzle input. So if we open our input SQL, I think we can just grab all of this and open up a input2 dot input2.rb, I guess. Paste all that in here. Input gets input, and then we just need to get rid of all of this nonsense. And we'll just delete all of the all of those closing parentheses. And if we do that, then we've got in a list. Oh, yeah, I guess we've got just an array here. I wanted a big string, so I think we'll remove the commas as well. Yeah, now we've got this giant here doc. Okay. The input's rendering weird once we get down here, but I think that's just Vim getting confused. Cool, so that's input2.ruby. And if we open up part 2 then, we can hide that and say input gets file.read.open. What did we do? What on day? On day 2? No, day 7. Yeah, so I'm just looking up how I read in the file is file.open. Keep forgetting that. Okay. Oh, but we're not. Why did I call that a Ruby file? So input2.txt, and then I'm getting myself a little confused. We want to do a require relative because we've got a Ruby file. So if we do that, then this can actually be this input constant that will split apart, and yeah. Oop, and the one other thing, invalid number. We put 127 here, but that needs to actually be yeah, let's see, what did we have here? Just going to rerun this, get our initial input from par 1 because that's the value we're looking for. There we go. So let's give that a run and see what we get. Oh, that's a big number. I like it though. Let's try it out. Let's see if we get a second gold star. Ooh, not quite. Your answer is too high. I guess it does seem like kind of a big number. I mean, if we were to look in our input file, and how does that number compare to this one here? Oh yeah, that's way too high. So how did we end up with that? That's 14, 15 characters, so it's numbers.slice x, y, minus 1. Wow, what's going on there? I mean, if we have so let's do things like this. If we say 2 to 5, why would it return all of those values? 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have a feeling that we're not using slice correctly. What if we said 2 and 2? Yeah. Whoops. So then in this case, I want numbers slice, and I want it to go from x to y minus x. So let's back up a second and re-up this input. And see if we can get to the right answer that way. No answer found. Slice from x to y minus x. Oh, whoops. Put the invalid number back, and now that's still blowing up. Invalid number. $62. Okay. So then if we reinstate the big input and run this, we get a much more reasonable looking number. And yes, much smaller than that. And let's plug that in and see what it thinks. There's our gold star. And that's 2 for today. We are that much closer to saving our vacation. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching.